Today, I'll take you through the disturbing story of a family torn apart by tragedy, a family whose quiet life was shattered forever. Bart and Krista Halderson were an ordinary married couple with two sons living a peaceful life. But in the summer of 2021, they vanished without explanation, setting off a chain of events that stunned their community and led to a heartbreaking conclusion. This is their story. Family background. Bart Halderson was a 53-year-old managing director for an international accounting firm known for his dedication and calm demeanor. His wife, Krista, 51, worked as a customer service representative at an auto body shop and loved spending time on art projects. Together, they raised two sons, Mitchell, 23, an outgoing young man, and Chandler, 20, quieter and more introverted. On the surface, they were a happy, close-knit family who enjoyed weekend trips to their cabin up north. Friends often described them as warm and generous. But as we'll soon discover, appearances can sometimes be deceiving. On July 2, 2021, Krista failed to show up for work. This was completely out of character. Worried colleagues and friends tried calling her, but she did not answer. Both her car and Bart's car were parked at the family's home. When Chandler said his parents had gone to their cabin in Langlade County for the holiday weekend, some accepted it, but concern was brewing. After all, Krista had important appointments scheduled, and no one had heard from her. The silence was unusual and unsettling. Reporting missing and initial police work. As days passed and neither Bart nor Krista returned or responded to messages, Chandler filed a missing persons report on July 7th. Detectives Sabrina Sims and Brian Shunk were assigned to the case. They began combing through the family home, searching for clues. They also initiated a search at the remote cabin in northern Wisconsin, but the property appeared undisturbed. Investigators spoke with neighbors and friends, trying to piece together the last known movements of the couple. The community reaction and investigations. Neighbors and friends expressed disbelief. The Haldersons were well-liked and had no known enemies. The community joined the search efforts, hoping to find the family safe. However, soon the efforts took a darker turn. Police received a tip about a farm outside Madison that Chandler had recently been visiting. When authorities followed up, they made a grim discovery: the remains of a human body. This discovery transformed the investigation from a missing person search into a homicide case. The police's attention quickly focused on Chandler. His story was inconsistent, and he was caught in several lies. Investigators learned that he'd falsely claimed to be a college student with a promising future, holding a job at SpaceX, none of which was true. This web of deception raised serious suspicions. Was Chandler hiding something worse? The betrayal cut deep, reaching into the heart of a family struggling to understand how a son could become a suspect in such a horrible crime. Evidence found and arrest. Further searches of the Halderson home revealed traces of blood and shell casings. On the farm, police found weapons and tools believed to be connected to the crime. These physical pieces of evidence tightened the case against Chandler. On July 13th, he was arrested and formally charged with the murder of his father. Krista's whereabouts remained unknown, but the signs were grim. Discovery of Krista's remains. Months after Bart's remains were found, search teams focused on the Wisconsin River area. Tragically, Krista's dismembered remains were discovered along the riverbank. This devastating find confirmed the worst fears, that both parents had been victims of a violent crime. Police were upfront about the difficulty of the case and the emotional toll involved in recovering and identifying the remains. In January 2022, the trial of Chandler Halderson began. He faced multiple charges: first-degree intentional homicide, hiding a corpse, and mutilation of a corpse. The prosecution laid out a powerful case, presenting overwhelming evidence, including forensic results, witness testimonies, and digital data from phones. Their argument painted a picture of Chandler's desperation to cover up the murders, fueled by his lies about his life. Defense's strategy and closing statements. Chandler's defense attorneys argued that the prosecution lacked direct evidence linking him conclusively to the crimes. They attempted to establish reasonable doubt but did not call any witnesses or have Chandler testify on his own behalf. The defense's silence spoke volumes and left the jury with the task of weighing all unbiased evidence carefully. Verdict and sentencing. After less than a day of deliberations, the jury returned a unanimous verdict, guilty on all counts. Chandler was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. The judge emphasized the severity of the crimes and Chandler's betrayal of his own family. The courtroom was filled with somber reflection on a tragic story that had taken a dark and devastating turn. The story of Bart and Krista Halderson is a haunting reminder of hidden struggles and the fragility of family bonds. Behind the facades we all show, deeper conflicts may be simmering unnoticed. The loss felt by the surviving family members and the wider community is profound. As we remember Bart and Krista, we also reflect on the consequences of secrets and deception. May their memory inspire us to look more closely at those around us and offer kindness and understanding before tragedy strikes.